For those of you who have missed the previous dip, do not regret it, because market always gives a second chance. Let's take a look at an example. KC 100 indexed, it moved around 190, dropped sharply to 144, and then recovered around 166. Now, that was not a cleanup trend, that was just a volatile recovery during uncertainty. Now, if we look at the globe, we can see that right now what we have is a temporary pause in tension, not complete peace. And during this time of uncertainty, we countries like Pakistan, we suffer the most because the economy suffers because of inflation, the high oil prices, the high interest rates. The oil is very less likely to crash aggressively, and central banks are still very cautious. And that is why we need to be on the outlook. It means pressure on economies like Pakistan, and we need to be very careful. Therefore, I would say that it is not a complete safe buying zone, it is rather a risk management phase rather than a growth phase. The bounce that we saw from 144 to 166 was also just probably the institutional repositioning or just short term recovery. It is not likely to be long term accumulation just yet. Now, if you're thinking where should I stay invested, your exposure should be very selective, like blue chip companies or stocks with higher dividends or defensive sector companies. These companies are highly likely to stay stable during volatility compared to the small companies. So, what your call right now is to, instead of following the market, book your profits on the rallies, stop overexposing yourself into risky markets, hold your strong positions, but stay alert. And just start increasing cash positions, because this is what gonna save you in the long term and gain you the most profit in the future. And what you need to stay away from are low quality stocks, these pump and dump schemes, and also the side shares without taking a look at the fundamentals, because these three fall the hardest during correction. Just stay away from them. And right now, the most powerful position you can hold is to own cash. Cash right now is such a power because real wealth is built when you invest during panic, not during comfort. Cash right now is such a blessing because we know wealth is built when we have chaos, not comfort. And if we take a look at the market, we can see that the technicals, they're telling us that the lower side is still possible. The fundamentals are also telling you to be careful. The economy is still under pressure, whereas sentiment is completely different. The retailers are in confidence, and we've seen that throughout history, whenever the retail is in confidence, market usually crashes somewhere. This is a very dangerous position. And never forget this one market truth, that markets do not crash with an announcement. They build pressure quietly and then suddenly they move fast. PSX right now is in phase of recovery. It does not become completely stable. Therefore, position yourself wisely so that when the real opportunity comes, you go ahead and take it, not just sit there and watch.